is an addict or where addiction is, we realize that it's a kind of illness, let me put it that way, or sickness, which is progressive and which starts from somewhere and ends somewhere.
It is one of the very few of such government facilities in Ghana. Another facility for rehabilitation in Ghana is at Patan Hospital. Residents, as the inmates here are called, pay a monthly fee of 600 cedis for a stay of 6 months. The Patan facility employs a unique program known as a therapeutic community, where every member of the community is responsible for the recovery of the other. So, as a family, they work pulling each other up on the long and lonely road from addiction.
Initially, it was difficult. It wasn't easy for me here because I came here as a full-blown addict.
We do not use drug in treating addiction. So what we do is that exercise is part, so that as you work out your body, the excess of the drugs in your tissues could wear off by themselves naturally. So far, we started this program on the 9th of September 2009. I think we're almost 2 years gone, and the success rate has been great.
At the community center Granja San Felipe in Cape Verde, a similar approach has been adopted for the treatment and rehabilitation of drug addicts. There is, however, one fundamental difference. The gates here are not locked, so the inmates know it is a matter of choice. Since the center opened in 2005, none has escaped, and over 60% of those that left here after the 9-month program have stayed clean.
This house have a good name in Sal Island because I have many people, friends of me. I used to use drugs with them together, and they used to use more drugs than me, and right now they have 3 years, 4 years clean. They have the job right now, they have the family, the car, everything. So that's why I see in my friends what they used to what they used to be before and what they are right now. That's why I'm here right now.
Every day at the center starts with a recitation in which the residents remind themselves of why they are there and why they have to look in the mirror and confront the demons that have been chasing them, literally.
We work in group. The most important here is not the technique, it's us. And all of us want to help together, each other. And me, I understand you, what is your problem, and I try to help you. I try to help you to tell you the better. And the techniques, the psychologists help us so much, so much.
The structure of the center is probably the most integrated in West Africa. There are standard group therapy sessions where inmates work together with in-house specialists, and sometimes former inmates return to support them. There is also something else. The inmates, as part of their preoccupation, cultivate banana plantations. The harvests are processed by them into products such as chocolates at an in-house facility managed by a reformed addict. The products, which they proudly show off, are sold and proceeds retained to fund the center. The inmates also produce artworks and other creative pieces which are also marketed for revenue.
Será que se Granja abriu na 2005?
Sometimes I question myself, if in 2005 the center was not open, would I be alive and well today? Would my children be as happy and living a peaceful life as they do today? I have to recognize the value and success of this center. After living for 17 years as a drug addict, I still don't sometimes believe I could live the life I have today. I thank the center and God for today.
This is good news for a country that is paying attention to the uphill task of surmounting the drug scourge.
I say maybe about 90% of the crime people do is because of drugs.
As a result, at the Central Prison in Praia, much attention is given to the sensitization of inmates. This is one of those sessions, and Dr. Venusa Pereira, employing an interactive approach, has gained the confidence of the young inmates. This approach has worked so well that it has positively affected the number of released prisoners who return to the prison.
2 years ago, we used to have a lot of prisoners to come back. You know, they get out of the jail and they go to their house, they start doing drugs again, they come back. But from 2 years from now, we only have 1 prisoner. And I've seen maybe 100 people left the jail, but I've seen 1 in 2 years who came back to jail.
Cape Verde, a country of rolling hills and pristine beauty, knows that it has to roll over the hill of drugs, which has cast a blight on its beauty. So, with the help of some international agencies, sensitization is an intense national project involving youths and even educational institutions.
Criamos desde 2001 os núcleos conselhos de prevenção.
We create units which organize information activities, sensitization, training with different target groups. Many activities organized with the youth and families. The need to work with the families has been one of our priorities, and they also work with other groups considered risk groups. Other than that, other activities have been organized, such as radio programs, television programs, all information and training programs for the population in general, but mainly for the youth.
Since 2005, we have a program for the spare time of the youth and sensitization campaigns. We organize sporting activities because the message is passed in those activities where the youths are gathered, and we organize championships amongst communities.
In Guinea, sensitization is a primary agent the country seeks to use as a catalyst for change. For a country which had become so associated with illicit drugs, it is a battle for the soul of the country.
It was seen as the drug hub of West Africa. We were pained to see the image of our country tarnished, but we had to accept it because we lived off the process of drugs. Everybody was involved. I mean the general administration, civilian, military, police. At the time, 40% was involved. What we have always lacked is the political will. Today, the democratically elected president, Alpha Condé, has decided to establish this general secretariat and place it under his watchful eye. This shows that henceforth, we have done away with all external influence.
An interministerial committee has been established to give impetus to the country's campaign. There is even an institute devoted to the study of illicit drugs. Guinea is high on determination, but determination is not enough where funds are scarce. Guinea is not exactly prosperous at the moment.
Our resources are limited, but we have courage and political will.
With the aid of the European Union, the Guinean government, through the Committee on Drugs, developed its first national action plan on the fight against drugs with 11 important projects. This involved the education sector, youth ministry, social affairs, information and communication. The problem of finance. This is the problem confronting the Interministerial Committee in Guinea with regards to the fight against drugs.
With no funds, there is little hope for rehabilitation of drug addicts in Guinea. There is actually no facility for rehabilitation or program for reintegration in the country. The treatment of addicts is the responsibility of the psychiatric unit at the teaching hospital in Conakry. This serves the whole of Guinea and reportedly some of her neighbors. The hospital, and by extension the country, has only one trained toxicologist.
We are the only psychiatry for the whole country. We receive not only from Guinea, but also from neighboring countries. There are no rehabilitation centers, no social integration centers for these patients. When they leave the hospitals, there ought to be a center for these people with drug problem to care for them. But when